Good evening, all. You may all be seated. Mr. Secretary, members of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. You know, today is a solemn day in American history. 22 years ago, this nation suffered a horrific loss that cannot be measured. You know, in the 22 years, and actually right after 9/11 happened, there were so many great speeches written and spoke of and about the heroism, the courage of that day. Matter of fact, this morning I talked to school children about what courage is. And it's hard to talk about this event when you really have to kind of talk around it. So tonight's going to be a great opportunity to be able to talk in depth about my feelings about 9/11. And I'm going to use the remarks that President Bush used shortly after the attacks. So when he addressed this, and when he came to this very place and addressed the Pentagon, and talked about the loss our nation had encountered. You know, this Pentagon took a direct hit from one of the airplanes that impacted our nation that day. And just across the way here, about 90 degrees from where we are right now, my next door neighbor from my hometown, DeSoto, we used to work for the Army Corps of Engineers. She was assigned to the Pentagon then, and she was 90 degrees from where we are right now, and she felt the impact from the explosion of the airplane hitting the building. And she said all she could do was run and get away. And that's what a lot of people in the city did that day, ran and get away. So tonight I'm going to give my remarks to you, much like President Bush did 22 years ago. You know, 1 year ago, men and women and children were killed here because they were Americans, and because this place is a symbol to the world of our country's might and resolve. Today, we remember each life, we rededicate this proud symbol, and we renew our commitment to win the war that began here. The terrorists chose this target, hoping to demoralize our country. They have failed. Within minutes, brave men and women were rescuing their comrades. Within hours, in this building, the planning began for a military response. Within weeks, commands went forth from this place that would clear terrorist camps and caves and liberate a nation. And within 1 year, this great building has been made whole again. Many civilian and military personnel have now returned to offices they occupied before the attack, and we are in that very wing here this evening. The Pentagon is a working building, not a memorial, yet the memorials of a great tragedy linger here. Who knew loss here? Life is not the same. The 184 whose lives were taken in this place, veterans and recruits, soldiers and civilians, husbands and wives, parents and children, left behind family and friends whose loss cannot be weighed. The murder of innocents cannot be explained, only endured. And though they died in tragedy, they did not die in vain. Their loss has moved the nation to action and a cause to defend other innocent lives across the world. This war is waged on many fronts. We've captured more than 2,000 terrorists. A large number of killers have met their end in combat. We've seized millions of terrorist assets. We're reorganizing the federal government to protect the homeland, yet there's a great deal left to do. And the greatest task and the greatest dangers will fall to the armed forces of the United States. I came to the presidency with the respect for all who wear America's uniform. I always have, and I always will. Every day, as your commander in chief, my respect and that of our nation has deepened. I have great confidence in every man and woman who wears the uniform of the United States of America. I am proud of all of you who have fought on my orders, and this nation honors all who died in our cause. Wherever our military is sent in the world, you bring hope and justice and promise of a better day. You are worthy of the traditions you represent, the uniform you wear, the ideals you serve. America is counting on you, and our confidence is well placed. What happened to our nation on that September day set in motion the first great struggle of a new century. The enemies who struck us are determined and they are resourceful. They will not be stopped by a sense of decency or a hint of conscience, but they will be stopped. A greater force is amassed against them. They are opposed by freedom loving people in many lands. They are opposed by our allies who have fought bravely by our side. And as long as terrorists and dictators plot against our lives and our liberty, they will be opposed by the United States Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, and Marines. We fight as Americans. We've always fought, not just for ourselves, but for the security of our friends and for peace in the world. We fight for the dignity of life against fanatics who feel no shame in murder. We fight to protect the innocent so that the lawlessness and the merciless will not inherit the earth. In every turn of this war, we will always remember how it began and who fell first. The thousands who went to work, boarded a plane, or reported to their posts today, the nation pays our respects to them. Here and in Pennsylvania and in New York, we honor each name and each life. We ask God to bring comfort to every home where they are loved and missed. And on this day and on every day, may we watch over the United States of America. May God bless you. May God bless all our troops of this country, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you all very much. Thank you.